Welcome back. This is an oldie but goodie. Well, it's an oldie where I come from. Trust me, your kid's going to love it. It is a 1975 CBS era Fender P-Bass. Got all the wear right where you need it. It's in today for some neck issues, which I'll get to. Give you a little tour. It's an aftermarket bridge. Badass bass 2. Really cool. Lots of adjustment there for intonation. The owner routed in a pickup there. That looks great. And you got your original pickups there. Would have originally had the ashtray cover there, and there would have been a cover here that spanned over the pickups. You would have had your rest here. There was another knob added in the mod. It can all be reversed though, that's the good thing. And coming up the neck, it's got all the good wear to it. Let's see, let's flip over to side 2. Oh, it's got that rash right there. Looks nice. It's got Grover tuners on there. Hardcore. Yeah, this is a workhorse for the owner, as you can see. But it's in for some neck issues. Don't know where to start. Let's see. Alright, well the neck itself is curved like a Hot Wheels track. I'm not sure if that's going to come across on camera. But it rides up at the end. And that makes the action very high. The bridge is as low as it's going to go. But I believe the bridge is that low because the neck is a little bit out. This is mostly the biggest offender right here. You could probably live with high strings, but as you can see, the neck is hooking to the left, and we want it to hook back to the right. So I suggested to the owner that, yeah, I'll just, move it over there, retighten. He says, nope, it'll migrate back. So I think we might go with a wedge in there to keep it kinked that way permanently. You know what I'm saying? And not entirely sure if the neck is perfectly flat right there, level with the body. I want that. So I don't know if I might need a shim down here to pick it up. But first adjustment we'll do is the truss rod. Get this neck a little flatter. Yeah, that's about it. The pick guard has, seen better days. Might be a replacement. No, you know what? That might be original. But maybe upgrade on the pick guard someday. I can carve that right on the X-Carve. So anyway, that's where we're starting. I'll set you up and we'll start working through this neck. Alright, before I take the strings off, I want to see if I can get the neck a little flatter with the strings on it. But I wanted to show you on the straight edge. I just took a picture of this. You get to see how high the action is at the 7th fret. And you can see there's a pretty big gap there. So yeah, let's I want to loosen the strings a little bit, and then I'll see how this truss rod feels. And it's loose. Why is it loose? That was 1.5 turns until it hit tension. That's a 1/4 turn. Let's see what that looks like. Still dippy. Another 1/4 turn, so it's a 1/2 turn past tight. That is actually laying down a little bit. I'm going to massage it a little bit. I'm not putting any more pressure on this than you would put on it if you were playing or, you know, moving it around, dancing it around, doing like a deep neck dive or something. Not any pressure. I mean a little pressure, but not real pressure. Just trying to move it back and forth, flex it a little bit. Get it shucking and jiving. And that's pretty straight right there. But the strings are loose, so let's see what happens when we put it under tension. Dip back up a little bit with tension. Let's give it we were at a 1/2 turn, let's give it another 1/4. It's real tight. I'm just going to go 1/8 right there. Alright, I think we can live with that if the need be. But yeah, at least that's workable. I'm going to take the strings off. I'm going to actually take the neck off the body and get a little bit more fine-tuned in here. And we'll figure out what we can do for a wedge in here. There's actually, you can see where the body line, the gap there, it's much wider at the top here than it is. And you can see it only needs to go over. If I base my shim on this piece right here that's exposed, that should give us what we need. So, yeah. Maybe I'll just go ahead and make one of those while it's still here on the body. Let's do that. Here's some scrap. I think it's walnut. I think that'll make a good, that'll make pretty good, and I think I could take it right off the edge here. Alright, there's my wedge. It's just a shim. Gonna need some shaping once I get it in there. So, I think I'm ready to take the strings off now. I want to take the pick guard off to see if this neck almost looks like it's pitching forward a little bit, in which case I might want to put a very minuscule shim underneath this end of the neck to bring it back, and that'll allow us to get the proper bridge height down here. With cool mods there. That's not why I took it off. I wanted to look in here. Yeah, there's definitely a slight tilt up on this end of the neck pocket. So if we put a small little shim under here, I mean not even a credit card's worth, it'll bring it up to where it needs to be. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, Nothing of interest in the pick guard or in here in the body. No markings or anything. Maybe there'll be something cool in the neck pocket. Put a little Teflon tape around this screw to get it to catch a little better. And while I'm here, for pure aesthetics, these pickups are missing a couple screws. I'm going to see if I can replace some of those. Looks like there's already a shim in there. Looks like we're doing double shims. It says 17 here. A long word here that ends with TA. And this big circle in the middle, JS something. They're so faded, they're tough to read. Start looking at this neck. It's straight and flat all the way down. It's nice and straight. There's no kinks, warps, or anything like that. And it's relatively flat without the pressure of the strings on it. I'm going to loosen the truss rod a little, do some more massaging with it off the neck. Yeah, let's go there. I'm liking that. It's nice and flat now. Let's start checking the frets, see if we have to level anything. One, two, three, four, five, 6 frets that are a little wonky. Well, you know what time it is. Tape time. Alright, the frets are level. Neck is straight. Pretty clean. They're nice and polished. It's getting pretty late. think I'm going to hit the sack and back on this tomorrow morning. With the neck gone through, I'm going to put that aside, bring in a cleaner mat, and then I'll bring the body in. Alright, that's my second cleanest mat. Got my shim here. I'm thinking right about there. That will work pretty good, but I can't go all the way down. The pocket's just not that big. I think we want to be sitting about right there. Alright, I'm going to take a little off of that. Use the sander again to bring a little taper to it. It's able to go in a little deeper. I'm liking the way that that lines up with the body line. Okay, I think that's about my max amount of wedge. I'm kind of put a mark here. So I just kind of made a mark, a little rounded, so that it kind of disappears. I don't want a wedge sticking out where you can see it. Alright, that's shaped up pretty good. I need to sit like right here. Alright, I put the neck back on temporarily just to see about where this is going to line up. So if we put it where it started, we're right on the edge, and that side's got a ton of room. So I'm going to move it to about where they're both equal, and then we'll start trimming down that wedge a little bit. And I'm just pulling this taut. There's a lot of wiggle room in there. So I don't need as much as I thought I did right there. I'm going to just trim down this wedge a little more. Alright, trimmed it down a little more thinner on that side so we can get more meat in there. And I'm liking this right here, and that it's thin enough where it's got a little spring to it, where if I need to bring it this way, I can. So I think we're going to trim it right there. Alright, you can see what I'm left with right here. This is the front edge, that's the bottom of the pocket, and this is the back edge that tapers down. It's really, really thin. I just want to give it a little sanding. Mostly on this top edge, it's a little rough. You cut it with the X-Acto knife, it's so thin. Probably could have used scissors. Now let's take the neck back off. I just had it on loosely with 2 screws so that I can kind of see where she likes to sit. So I got my little shim ready to go. I've got the back side of it done up with some hide glue. This is non-permanent. It'd be easy to pull out of there. It's just to keep it from sliding out. It'll go right there. There we go. Okay, for a project last year, I got this Bandit real wood veneer edging. Made of red oak. Works great for making shims. It's got this pre-glued iron on, which I'm not going to use in this situation. I got a sharp razor blade, and I'm going to scrape off all that glue. I remembered from last time that just using a razor was kind of tough, so a little bit of lighter fluid on there, on the glue, softened it up, and I was able to scrape it off. So now it's thin enough that it'll bring our neck back up to where it should be. Again, I'm going to use some hide glue because that's easily removable. Use the wire wheel and the Dremel to clean up the screws a little bit. Get a little bit of that rust off of there. I think we're ready to put these back together. Let's do it. I'm going to leave those just tight enough, and when we get the strings on and we can set the angle of our dangle here, we'll be able to tighten them back up. This player likes 45 100s. I picked up these D'Addario nickel wound. Always had good luck with these. Well, one more thing I wanted to do before I went too far. I wanted to make sure that this this hardware here moves. So when I go to do string height, nothing seized on me, you know. All right. All the saddle screws turn freely. That's a nice thing. I'll keep that out for later. My daughter's at that age where she's starting to like to listen to her music loud. She used to get on us all the time for listening to music too loud in the car. And it sounds like a rave upstairs right now. So now I'm kind of thinking that second shim was a little too much, so I'm going to pop it out. Tell the bridge was pretty high because the screws are coming out the bottom, so try this again. Not as high. Get our shim out. Let's tune her up again. as you can see, the truss rod adjustments really straightened that out. Took that gap out we had at the 7th fret, and I'm able to get the strings down lower now. And overall, it feels really good. Feels like a P bass should. I wanted to address the elephant in the room, or the elephant on the front of the guitar. We got this 9-volt here for the active pickups. Just gonna test that while I'm here. It's good. But boy, is it ugly, ain't it? I'm looking around for something to put over it, like a cover. And then I was thinking maybe I'll carve one out of wood. And, you know, I went round and round, started poking around the shop, looking for something that might kind of fit, you know. And I actually have this old butt case. And you can see they open up like that, but the hinges always break off of them. So this top part, and I have this one here in a kind of a milky black, and that would go, fits perfectly right over there, and the front portion of it will actually tuck into the 9-volt holder. And while it doesn't hide the 9-volt completely, it makes it look a little better, right? So the only thing is it's sitting too tall, and I think I can sand maybe a 1/4 inch off of there, and it would sit a lot flusher. So I'm going to do that, and back soon. Alright, so I filed that down a little bit. It's a little shorter. And the way it goes on there is it just kind of slips on here and clips underneath the clip that holds the battery. No modification at all, but you don't have to look at Amazon Basics. So you still got those there, and yeah, I think that'll look much better. You know, I'm thinking maybe in the future if we could maybe do a new pick guard. Route out a spot somewhere in here to put a battery. Maybe have a battery cover or a magnetic cover that comes off. Something that's not modifying the body at all. So I think that'll do. It's cool. So that's a 1975 Fender Precision bass. Looks great. Feels 1,000 times better. The neck is 1,000,000 times straighter. And yeah, I'm going to get this back to the owner. He can get back out there gigging on it again. It's obviously a workhorse. You can see all the wear. It's got all the patina in the right spots. Just yeah, people put sandpaper on their sleeves to get, you know, wear like that. But we don't have to. We got it right here. So this looks 1,000 times better. And I want to thank you for joining me. Thumbs up so I know you like my content. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.